All right, so if you're running a business in Texas, you're going to need a certificate of good standing at some point. But what is it, really? And what's the best way to get one? That's what we're breaking down today. We're going to review the two main methods so you can figure out what makes the most sense for you. Okay, first things first. Before we dive into the how, let's talk about the what. Honestly, the names Texas uses for these things can be kind of confusing, so it's a really good idea to get on the same page right from the get-go. Yeah, you've probably seen a few different terms thrown around. Certificate of fact, good standing, account status. So what's the deal? Are these all the same document? Let's straighten this out right now. Okay, here's the breakdown. The one you usually need, the one people mean when they say certificate of good standing, is officially called a certificate of fact status. This comes from the Secretary of State, and it's what proves your business is legit and has the authority to operate. Now that other one, the certificate of account status, that's from the comptroller and it's all about your franchise taxes. Totally different thing. For our purposes today, we are laser focused on that certificate of fact. So let's nail this down. The certificate of fact is that single official piece of paper from the Secretary of State. It's the state's way of saying, yep, this business exists and it's allowed to do business here. It's basically the official stamp of approval. And you're going to need this thing more often than you think. You know, when you're applying for a business loan, opening a bank account, trying to expand into another state, it's the go-to document to prove you're on the up and up. So yeah, it's pretty important. Now that we know why, let's get into the how. This video contains affiliate links. I have a relationship with the brands in this video and earn a referral fee when you shop through the links in the description below. Before diving in, let's talk compliance. You absolutely cannot secure business funding, open a corporate bank account, or expand your Texas business without proving your company is legitimate. Most owners scramble at the last minute to get their Texas certificate of good standing, which is exactly why major deals fall through and loans get denied. Your business must prove it is legally active and up to date on state taxes. That's where Busy comes in. Busy is the absolute best service out there for securing your Texas certificate of good standing. Instead of fighting with confusing Secretary of State portals, Busy handles the entire retrieval process. They cut through the bureaucratic red tape and deliver your official compliance document fast. This is non-negotiable if you want to scale and secure capital. Use my link in the description below to get your certificate handled seamlessly through Busy today and unlock exclusive discounts and perks. Get that handled first. All right, let's dive into method number 1, doing it yourself. This means going straight to the source, the Texas Secretary of State's own website, which is called SOS Direct. And the first thing you need to know about the DIY method is one simple number, 15. 15 bucks. That's the state's flat fee. That's our starting point, our baseline for this whole review. And you know what? The process itself is surprisingly simple. You just log into SOS Direct, click through a couple of menus, business organizations, then order, and you choose certificate of fact and then status. You'll need your business's file number, but hey, quick pro tip. If you don't have it handy, there's a find entity search right there. Super easy. Add it to your cart, click submit, and you're done. That's it. And get this, the turnaround time is crazy fast. Once you hit submit, you'll have that official PDF in your email in about 1 to 2 business hours. I mean, for a government agency, that is lightning quick. Okay, so that's the DIY route. Now let's talk about option number 2, using a third-party service. These are companies you can pay to handle the entire process for you. So you might be asking, why would I pay someone to do something that sounds so easy? Well, it boils down to one word, convenience. It's for when you just want to hand the task off and not think about it again. It's a totally hands-off approach. But as you'd expect, that convenience definitely comes with a price tag. And it's a pretty big one. You're not just paying the state's fee. Looking at some of the popular services, LegalZoom charges $45 on top of the state fee. CT Corporation, $115 plus fees. So that's the trade-off, plain and simple. You're paying a premium to have somebody else click those buttons for you. All right, so we've seen both options. Now let's put them side by side and see how they stack up on the things that really matter: cost, speed, and effort. When it comes to cost, there's no contest. DIY wins hands down at just $15. For speed, again, it's tough to beat the state's 2-hour turnaround. And effort. Well, this is where the trade-off is. DIY is super low effort, but it's still self-service. The service method is zero effort, completely hands-off. That's what you're paying for. Okay, we've laid it all out, the process, the cost, the performance. It's time to make a call. What's our final verdict on the absolute best way for a Texas business to get this certificate? You know, this quote from the super entrepreneur really just hits the nail on the head. You can do it yourself in less than 5 minutes, and it only costs $15. That really puts it into perspective, doesn't it? So yeah, our final verdict is pretty cut and dry. When you look at the combination of speed and pure value, going direct through SOS Direct is the undisputed winner for the vast majority of Texas businesses. It's just the smartest, most efficient way to get it done. So there you have it. You now know just how easy and cheap it is to get this certificate yourself. And that really leads to a bigger question, right? Now that you see how this works, are you going to be more inclined to handle these kinds of compliance tasks yourself? Or is the convenience of a paid service still worth the premium to you? It's definitely something to think about.